Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Thursday, February 24th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Give them a call. They'll do wonders for your website and your web strategy. We are here every Monday through Friday at jcontheline.com, and of course every day on the Big 550 KTRS from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Eric Mink joins us every Tuesdays. We have the ladies on Wednesday, professional comedian Joe Marlotti on Thursday, and Smash joins us on Friday. We have lots of really cool guests. And of course, excuse me, Trish Gazelle, Trish's Trash, is my producer and co-host. And we have a great time. Again, that's on the Big 550 KTRS. And we begin our shows from Jupiter, Florida with the Cardinals at spring training next Wednesday morning. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. And then Monday of the following week. And then we head back. And I don't know if it's going to be like going to a funeral down there, because man, oh man, you want to talk about the air sucked out of Cardinal Nation for 2011. I don't know. And you also have to wonder if somehow this is going to have some bearing on Albert's contract negotiations. Maybe it was a little bit of a sobering undertow yesterday as Adam Wainwright, who's still in his mid-20s, goes down. Probably not going to have him for a year or maybe even two. The good news is he is young and could probably come back, although there's a lot more than just the physicality involved in your arm. There's the mental edge and staying sharp and all that sort of stuff. Now, if you're betting, put your money on Adam Wainwright. He seems to have the sort of mental composure that it would take to survive something like this, be off for a year and a half, 2 years, and still come back, and then maybe be better than ever. I mean, he's the kind of guy, he's just got it upstairs, so... But you do have to wonder about the Albert negotiations, because I think that all of us thought that Adam Wainwright was pretty indestructible, and now you got Albert Pujols, who is the absolute epitome of indestructibility, and it just reminds us that somebody could go down at any time. And what do you do if Albert's 2 or 3 years into a 10-year, $300 million contract, and all of a sudden, kerplowy, all of a sudden his career is over or something like that? It's not like Albert has been free of injury. So you really have to wonder whether or not there's going to be any sort of fallout in the Albert Pujols situation as a result of Adam Wainwright and the big news yesterday. Anyhow, yeah, we'll be down at spring training. Now, the way this is going to work is doing the show Monday and Tuesday, and then as soon as we get off the air Tuesday next week at 1 o'clock, head straight to the airport, travel, get in Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I'll be on the air from the ballpark. Well, then, as soon as McGraw and his guys get off the air on Tuesday morning, they head for Florida, and they'll do their first show on Thursday morning. So then Thursday it'll be McGraw from out at the beach from 6 until 10, and then me at the ballpark from 10 until 1. So it's just crazy. We'll all be there through Monday of the following week. And, we always try to do a real good job of getting access to the players and having a little fun with them and maybe learning some things about them other than just, the hitting and the fielding and basically the X's and O's of baseball. We try to get into these guys' heads a little bit and have a little fun with them. We do it every year, and we certainly anticipate doing that next week. And again, my job is to try to bring spring training to you. For most of you who aren't ever going to be able to get down there, it was a little more affordable in the days of St. Petersburg Beach when the Cardinals were down there, and it was a little less expensive. You go down now, you're right, next to West Palm Beach and Jupiter. I mean, you want to talk about money. I don't know where these people got their money, but it's not the people that I associate with, I can tell you that. And then you get up near PGA Boulevard, which is about 3 or 4 miles north of Al Lang Stadium. Al Lang, listen to me, Roger Dean Stadium. I'm back in St. Petersburg. The money. So you got to make sure you got a decent functioning credit card when you go down there. But it is pretty, and the ballpark is nice, and it's just fun. There's just something rejuvenating about being down in Florida this time of year. Plus, get out of this creepy weather. I'm hearing now we're going to get snow towards Friday morning, and with what happened yesterday morning with a 26-car pileup on Highway 40. And again, we have these people who insist on in the media on calling it 64 or 6440. This is something that MoDOT started when they did the reconstruction of Highway 40, and they started insisting that everybody call it 64, and nobody does. The only people who call it 64 are the people in the media and the people at MoDOT. Nobody has ever said, hey, Bob, let's go to the ball game. All right, let's jump in the car. Hey, how you want to go? Why don't you take 64? Those words have never been said. It's Highway 40. Call the highway what it is. Highway 40. All right. Let's move on here. I try to stay away from the Lindsay Lohan, Charlie Sheen stories. It's impossible. Lindsay Lohan in court again yesterday. She's got to decide if she gets 6 months in jail or maybe longer, or rolls the dice and has a trial and comes up not guilty. This is a mess. I would not want to be in her shoes right now. There's a lot of things of hers I'd like to be into, but her shoes is not one of them. And Charlie Sheen takes off for the Bahamas on a private jet yesterday with 3 women, a couple of porn skanks, and the ex-wife, Brooke Mueller. What is... My brain isn't big enough to understand what's going on in this guy's head. He's back on the set of 2.5 Men on Tuesday, and they're going to have to put him in a turtleneck because I got this feeling he's going to be covered in hickeys. Is Kathy Griffin nailing the Old Spice guy? Man. 24-year-old Crystal Harris claims she cannot keep up with 84-year-old Hugh Hefner. Those two are going to be married at the Playboy Mansion on June 18th. For those interested in buying a gift, they're registered at the Centers for Disease Control. All right. Keith Olbermann has been gone from MSNBC for about a month now, and so they checked the ratings. Lawrence O'Donnell is doing that show in the 7 o'clock time slot, Central Time. Ratings are down 22%. Interestingly, Rachel Maddow's ratings have been unaffected, so good for her. But they're going to have to do something with that Olbermann slot, because I'm not sure Lawrence O'Donnell is your answer. And I don't think Alec Baldwin is either, by the way. Speaking of politicians, Christine O'Donnell, the witch, well, she said she wasn't, but anyhow, she has been offered a spot on the next season of Dancing with the Stars. She's still mulling over that offer. WikiLeaks. All right, so we're all familiar with this. They, issued this to Julian Assange, who's just the guy who gives you the creeps. But at the same time, there's a little part of me that likes what he's doing. It doesn't really seem like the national security of this country has been compromised at all. It just seems like it's a national geopolitical version of Us Weekly magazine that he's putting out. Oh, Muammar Gaddafi doesn't go anywhere without the blonde, that sort of stuff. So anyhow, a weird thing that came out in the process of all this WikiLeaks stuff, and the fact that Mariah Carey has been implicated in all of this. A Libyan dictator, Muammar Gaddafi, offered Mariah Carey $1 million for a private concert in 2009, and she agreed to it. I mean, you only have to perform 4 songs. That's $250,000 a song. Would you be able to turn down that money even though you're performing for Gaddafi? And they had another party in St. Bart's last year, and this time Gaddafi's kids offered Beyonce and Usher the $1 million, and they took it too. So it'll be interesting to see whether anybody thinks that's an issue. Again, you're a performer, and they offer you $250,000 a song for 4 songs, $1 million. You're in, you're out, but you're singing for Gaddafi, who has brought down jumbo jet airliners and killed lots and lots and lots of people, and they think that there's probably been 1,000 or more people just killed in these recent demonstrations where they're trying to overthrow Gaddafi, and he'll just gun anybody down. So it is an interesting question. I think we're going to have to deal with this on the air today on the Big 550 KTRS, one of our up or down no middle grounds, because this one is on fire. What do? You're a performer, and somebody offers you that kind of money. Unfortunately, the people offering the money have blood on their hands. What would you do? It's a damn good question. We're going to find out on the air today. Speaking of technology, this blows my mind. 5% of American households do not have a microwave. I don't know. Some things I'm just not born to understand, I guess. All right, JC's Eye Candy. This is an interesting one today because I was back in Buffalo, New York in 1984. Just about the time I was leaving Buffalo, there was a young up-and-comer by the name of Randy Naughton. She was a homie. She was from Niagara Falls, New York, which is just a couple of suburbs over from Buffalo. And she was sort of making her mark in the television business. They had a show that was on one of those mid-morning shows, comes on at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. They just do local stuff in Buffalo. And she was a contributor on that show. And I remember thinking to myself, that's a pretty girl. Well, we found a picture. This has been floating around in the was on Facebook yesterday, so it's only a matter of time now before this thing goes viral and everybody will be looking at it. So I hope nobody gets mad at me. I don't know why. She looked fantastic. She looks to probably be about 19, 20 years old. She's working at the Playboy Club, and she's got the little Playboy outfit on in the ears, and she looks fantastic. And of course, then she moved to St. Louis and was doing sports, doing a little radio, places of various TV stations in town, and for the last 12 years now has been on the Fox 2 morning show. That's a pretty good run. 12 years in this business doing anything is a pretty damn good run. So Randy looks good now. Randy looked sensational back in those Buffalo days at the Playboy Club, and that's our eye candy feature right below what you're looking at right now. We have also added a couple of things to our Wayback Machine and a couple of our other features you got to check out. Matter of fact, you know what? Stay right there. I never do this, but I left this in my briefcase. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming right back. I got to find this because I have to read it to you. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I thought I had it. I thought I had it. Apparently, I don't. Trust me. We put the implosion of the arena up there. This is the 12th anniversary this weekend of the implosion of the arena. So we have that on our feature up there. And then also, for people who are always doubting my athletic ability, back in, back in 1989, Randy Hundley, former catcher for the Chicago Cubs, was one of the first guys to do those fantasy camps. And he would do Cubs fantasy camps, but he also came to St. Louis and did a Cardinal fantasy camp. And I think it was about $2,000 a guy, and I sprung for it, and I also had my my close friend and my attorney, Jeff Gershman, do it too. And Randy Hundley comes to the plate, and he'd only been out of baseball a couple of years. I had busted my thumb earlier in the day, and I had pulled a hamstring earlier in the week because you go out there and you play and you practice and you do all that stuff for 3 days. And then on the final day of the fantasy camp, you go out there and you play a game against the former Cardinals, Al Roboski, Buchek, Joe Cunningham, people like Ted Savage, former Cardinal players. Some of these guys could still hit, by the way, and wait till you see what happens when Randy Hundley comes to the plate and I'm pitching. Again, keep in mind I got a broken thumb and a bad hamstring. This was 1989. It's sort of funny, so check that out. And again, those are right up on top on our features. The Wayback Machine and stuff like that is always really good. So that's it. JC's Daily Dose for, I always forget the date, Thursday, February 24th. 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Our big Oscar show tomorrow on KTRS. Don't forget about that. That's on Friday. We've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.